I almost quit learning Korean, not because I didn't love it anymore, but because I hit that plateau. You know, that frustrating stage when no matter how much you study, you feel like you're not improving at all. 혹시 매일 공부하는데도 시력은 오히려 떨어지는 것 같은 느낌 받아본 적 있으세요? 머리가 그냥 벽에 부딪히고 포기해버린 것 같은 그런 순간이요. 저는 무려 6개월 동안 그 상태였고, 오늘 영상에서는 그때 제가 어떤 기분이었는지, 그리고 어떻게 그 벽을 깨고 나왔는지 솔직하게 나눠보려고 해요. Hi, I'm Lynette, a bit of a language nerd who loves exploring different languages and cultures. For me, the plateau happened after I reached the intermediate level. I could hold basic conversations, understand simple K-drama dialogues, and read short articles. I felt pretty good about my progress, but I wasn't improving anymore. I was still doing everything I'd been doing, Anki flashcards, grammar textbooks, watching K-dramas, but every time I studied, it felt repetitive. My vocabulary isn't really growing. I end up using the same limited words over and over, and when it comes to listening or reading, I feel like I've hit a ceiling. I could understand some sentences, but couldn't form natural ones myself. I kept thinking, maybe I've reached my limit. I felt like my Korean was stuck in the same spot for months. I'm sure some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. That feeling where you used to be excited about studying, but now you just feel tired before you even open your textbook. So why does this happen? One reason is routine. If you keep using the same textbooks or study methods, your brain stops feeling challenged. Another reason is the lack of real-life practice. Textbooks and apps are useful, but without real conversations, your growth slows down. Sometimes the issue is not enough challenge. Your materials are too easy, so your skills don't stretch. Other times, it's an imbalance. Maybe you focus too much on a single aspect of the language, like grammar or reading, neglecting the other aspects, like speaking and listening, which can create an imbalance and slow overall progress. And of course, mental fatigue plays a role. When you study too much without variety or proper breaks, burnout creeps in and netting sticks. That's the plateau. Frustrating, but completely normal in language learning. So, how did I overcome this plateau? The breakthrough came when I stopped thinking about what I was doing wrong and started thinking about what I was doing, period. I realized I had fallen into what's so called the comfort zone trap. Here's the thing, I wasn't actually studying Korean anymore, I was just maintaining it. Let me explain what I mean. My Anki reviews had become mindless. I was recognizing cards rather than truly remembering words. My drama watching was passive. I was reading subtitles instead of listening. And my speaking practice? What speaking practice? That's when I realized that plateaus aren't actually about hitting your limit. They are about needing to level up your methods. One thing that helped me break that plateau was forcing myself to produce my Korean, not just consume it. When language learning starts to feel dull, switching things up brings back the excitement. Instead of sticking to the same textbooks, I tried things like making creative flashcards with drawings or audio, keeping a language journal to record my day and track progress. You can check out this video for more journaling ideas. Buying a new Korean book to spark fresh motivation. This might sound small, but buying a new Korean book, in my case, a short novel written for learners, give me a fresh wave of excitement. A new book feels like a new chapter in your language journey, and it can break the same old routine feeling. Recording myself speaking for 5 minutes daily, even if it was bad. Leaving comments on Korean YouTube videos. The magic wasn't in doing these things perfectly, but in pushing my brain to use what I'd learned instead of just recognizing it. Second, I deliberately made things harder. This was counterintuitive, but here's what I did. I switched from Korean subtitles to no subtitles. I started reading news articles instead of just webtoons. I found Korean podcasts about topics I actually cared about. Yes, my comprehension dropped initially, but my brain had to work harder, and that's where the growth happened. And speaking of making content work harder for you, let me introduce you to today's sponsor, LinkU. First is the immersive reading and listening feature. With LinkU, I can import those K-drama subtitles I've watched and turn them into interactive lessons. I like to read along while listening, and I can instantly click and save any word I don't know as a LinkU. Basically, I'm creating my own personalized vocabulary list from enjoyable content. I also love the library and import feature. I'm not stuck with just textbook content anymore. I start importing Korean YouTube transcripts from channels I actually watch, news
대화를
articles
정말
about
재밌게
topics I'm
해서
interested in, like K-pop
일을
combats and Korean food trends, and even Korean Reddit posts from communities I'm part of. Suddenly, I have this endless library of real native Korean content at the level I needed about topics I enjoy. And the progress tracking keeps me motivated. I can see my known words growing daily, which is quite motivating. The strict system keeps me coming back every day. And honestly, and in those little coins for studying sounds silly, but it makes me want to hit my daily goals. Joining their monthly and 90-day challenges also pushes me to stay consistent. Competing with other learners give me that little extra motivation during my pledge. If you want to try LinkU, I've put a link in my description box. Using LinkU reminded me that language learning doesn't have to feel like a chore. It can be fun and motivating. It gave me exactly the Friday I needed to push past my pledge. Fluency is really topic fluency. You don't suddenly become fluent in everything. It happens step by step, topic by topic. First, you learn to talk about yourself, then about daily life, then maybe a hobby or academic interest. But no one is fluent in every possible subject. For example, I'm fluent in English, but I still struggle to explain even high school chemistry in it. On the other hand, I find engineering terms easier in English than in my native Burmese because I only ever studied them in English. That's the key to breaking through the plateau. Focus on one topic at a time. Master it, then move to another. Each new topic forces you to learn new vocabulary, phrases, and ways of expressing yourself. Over time, you stack these areas of fluency, moving from intermediate to advanced without even realizing it. Forget about grammar. Honestly, if you're stuck at the intermediate pleasure, the best thing you can do is to stop obsessing over grammar. I mean, sure, learn things like 끝에, 가운데, 왜하면, they're useful, but don't waste your time trying to memorize something super niche like 이러 말이야마. You'll probably never use it. Instead, focus on making your sentences sound natural, even if that means keeping them shorter or simpler than you think. Because at the end of the day, it's way better to speak naturally and confidently than to force in some advanced grammar just to sound native. The community approach. For me, real life practice through conversation has been one of the most important parts of language learning. When I actually talk with people, I get to use what I've learned in real situations instead of just keeping it in my notes. One thing that really helped me is finding language exchange partners. I like this because it's not just me practicing, it's an exchange. For example, I talk to native speakers of my target language, and in return, they practice my native language with me. We correct each other's mistakes, and it feels supportive instead of stressful. I usually find partners through apps like Tandem or HelloTalk, and sometimes even through local meetups. The analytics method. Finally, I started tracking my progress differently. Instead of just hours studied, I tracked minutes of speaking practice per week, new words used in conversations, not just memorized, comprehension percentage of content I consumed. This helped me see progress even when it felt invisible. So, to wrap up, if you're feeling stuck in your Korean learning, it's completely normal and happens to everyone. It's a sign you need to upgrade your methods, not to give up. Focus on output and active use, not just input. Trust the process and be patient with yourself. I want to hear from you. Are you currently experiencing a plateau? What's one strategy from this video you are going to try this week? Let me know in the comments. And if this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more language learning tips.